I'm sorry, Hieronymous, I whisper as I shut my eyes tight, preparing for the worst. I love you. I wait for the blast, and all of a sudden, I feel it. It feels like someone had opened the door to an oven that was amplified to 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was hitting me full force. But there was something strange to the sensation, like the fire was passing around me, not engulfing me directly. When I dare to open my eyes, I see the Manus standing in front of me, taking on the full force of the hit. When the attack finally ends, the three of us fall to the ground. I take a look over at Aloysius, who is, most certainly, dead. Hey, it's okay, I say to the Manus as I quickly try to heal him. Why did you save me? Aloysius said to protect him, not me. He's the real Grabiner. Nobility is not determined by blood, the Manus mutters weakly. Permission to rest. I hesitate for a moment. Rest? Did that mean he wanted to pass on? Or be freed? Was it easy to procure another Manus again? Or would Hieronymous want me to keep him to ensure our protection? Permission granted, I say, and the Manus closes his eyes as his body starts to become transparent. He fades away as if he wasn't even there to begin with. Is he going to be okay? Minnie asks as I turn back to rejoin the group, but I just shake my head. I hope so, I reply. If you still have the Manus, why did he not protect Hieronymous? Jacob asks. Maybe he didn't realize it was a trap, I offer. Musette said she slipped him the golden syrup. Maybe Hieronymous didn't even know he was in danger until it was too late. I glance up to see Musette sitting in a tree, dangling her legs over the edge of a limb as she watches the battle unfold. You're more trouble than you're worth. You know that? Virginia demands as she casts Slash in her direction, but Musette just hops off the tree as the limb disconnects from the trunk and falls to the ground with a loud thud. Guys, focus on the Demon King, I tell them. I could see that the army is keeping him occupied, but they could use all the extra help they could get. Musette wants revenge on me. We need to do this one-on-one. Tori, are you sure? Virginia asks, and I just nod my head. Okay, girl, go get her. As they head off, Musette continues to circle me, like two lionesses about to go in for the kill. Musette, listen to me, I say as she casts spell after spell at me. Ellen wouldn't have wanted it to be like this. We are all friends. She would want us to get along. She wouldn't have wanted to lose her magic, Musette counters. She was so scared. I told her I wanted to visit, but I never told her how to open up a portal. When I sensed her arrive, I went straight to her and we ran. We hid in a cave. She told me she had asked you to come, but you wouldn't. If you had come, Grabby would never have shown up and Ellen would be fine. But no, it was Grabby who showed up and fought away the monsters, but he took her away and told me I'd never see her again. Because he wanted you to know the truth, I shout as I fire back in her direction. He didn't want you to spend the rest of your life waiting for someone who wasn't coming back. Ellen broke Iris Academy's rules. Musette, I know you think that Ellen would have been okay if I had been with her, and maybe we could have fought off the monsters together, but then we both would have lost our magic for entering the other world without permission. That's just Iris Academy's rules. Well, the rules are stupid, Musette snaps. She stops casting as she lets out a large sniff, and tears form in her eyes. The rules killed me. The rules put my parents in jail. The rules took Ellen away from me. Why are there rules when they just make things worse? I don't know, I tell her, and I can suddenly feel tears form in my own eyes as well. I don't know, Eddie, and I agree with you. The rules are stupid. They don't make sense, and sure, the authorities say they're put in place to protect us, but they don't. Not really. They don't help anyone. If anything, people just end up in more trouble for breaking the rules, and that causes so many more problems than it should. Musette blinks at me. Eddie? Yeah, I say softly. You always wanted a cool nickname. I always thought that you'd be a good fit for Eddie. Ellen and Eddie, tackling the other world together, taking down monsters and finding all sorts of cool treasures and secrets. That would have been nice, Musette says softly. I miss her too, I remind her. I miss her so much. I wanted to go visit Ellen in college. She was supposed to visit me at my house in the other world. She never got to see it, and she would have loved it so much. All the architecture and the history are lost on my friends, but Ellen really would have loved it. I miss her so much, Tori, Musette cries. I miss her so much, and it hurts so bad, and I don't know what to do. We're not your enemy, I remind her. That demon up there, that's your enemy. When Damien attacked me, he also attacked Ellen. Did she ever tell you about that? Musette sniffs. She said she didn't want to talk about it. Because it was too painful to dwell on, I tell her. But Ellen wouldn't tell you because she was kind and she knew you cared about Damien and she didn't want you to see him in a bad light. Because that's who Ellen was. She was kind and she was strong and she cared about her friends more than anything. It's why she was tricked into going into the other world before she should have. She knew it could lead to her being expelled, but she didn't care because she was worried about you. She didn't want you to be lonely. So it's my fault? Musette asks, looking down at her hands. I did it. I told Ellen I wanted to see her. I let the demons manipulate her. She looks up at me with a haunted expression behind her eyes. She was what, Musette? I asked breathlessly. She was so scared, and it was all my fault, she says. And we were friends too. And now you're in danger, and it's all my fault. It's not your fault, I tell her firmly. You tricked Hieronymous, didn't you? Because the Demon King asked you to? Musette nods. Because the demon wanted to help you get revenge. But Ellen wouldn't want revenge, Musette. She would never want that. You're right, Tori, Musette says softly. I'm sorry. If you ever see Ellen again, tell her I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm about to say, but I don't have time to speak as Musette suddenly pulls out a large blue orb. I found this while I was out exploring, she tells me. It's rumored that it can kill a demon, any demon, but it also kills the user. I thought Ellen might be smart enough to make a bunch of them so that we could sell them and become rich and travel the other world together, but it doesn't matter now. Musette, please let me have that, I say as I hold out my hand for the orb. Please, if I can end this right now, I need to. I can't let anyone else get hurt. Musette just shakes her head and grins. And let you play the big hero and save the day? No way, Tori. Maybe this is the best way I can see Ellen again. I'll do a good deed, and then I'll get to go to heaven, and Ellen will meet me there one day. I just have to wait a little longer. Musette, it's Eddie now, remember? She says as she smirks at me. Eddie off to save the day! She rushes off and runs straight towards the demon, who is too distracted fighting with the others to pay her much notice. Hey! Over here, you big bully! Musette shouts at him. This is for Ellen! She jumps up, and somehow both she and the orb assimilate straight into his chest. He scratches at his chest and howls in pain, wriggling this way and that before he suddenly starts to burn from the inside out. We all cautiously back away from him, never turning our backs on the steaming giant demon before he's reduced to nothing but ash at our feet. We all stand around silently for a moment, no one knowing quite what to say. Well, that was anticlimactic. Virginia offers, and we all turn to stare at her. What? I thought one of us was going to die for sure. What did you say to her? Minnie asks. What did she do? Apparently she found an orb that could kill a demon, I say before I shake my head. That wasn't important now. What was important was lying on a stone slab, still unmoving, as if he was a baby that had slept through a tornado that had brought the whole house down around him. Commander Jackson, I call to him frantically. Lord Grabiner is under the throes of the golden syrup. Is there any known cure? None known, he replies. A few individuals are able to wake up on their own, but it depends on their strength of will. Keep in mind that most are never the same when they awake, however. I glanced down at Hieronymous. He was strong enough. I couldn't doubt that. I had doubted him plenty of times before, but I couldn't doubt him now. Aloysius was dead, and Hieronymous was the last sole survivor of the Grabiner estate. I couldn't run it on my own. I needed him there beside me. We have been instructed to help you in any way we can, Lady Grabiner, Commander Jackson says with a small bow, and I glance around at my friends and the battle-ravaged landscape around us. If there is anything you require, please let us know. Yeah, I can think of something, I offer. If you could help get us all home, that would be, great.